For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Outlaws Camping and Leisure with me, Mike. Telling you guys a bit of a new review video on a new tent from Vango. So this here is the Madison 600XL. The Madison is quite a nice tent, and actually it's made so it's quite lightweight, packs down small, but still affordable, and that's the joys of this. We're actually doing this as a package deal, and you can check out our website in the link below to see what currently price we're selling it at now. So that includes a footprint, carpets, and a tent itself. But in this video, I'm going to just talk through all the features on the Madison to give you a bit more idea about what kind of tent it is. So the first thing to say probably is, in terms of the fabric, it is a really nice strong fabric. So it's a typical tent fabric. It's Vango Sentinel Dura fabric. So the joys of this, actually, it's lightweight, so same kind of sort of structure in many ways as your typical tent, but one main difference is actually it's got a technology called colour lock in it. So colour lock is the ability that it's something that's, when it's weaved into the fabric when it's first made, it makes essentially the fabric itself last about double the length than your typical normal fabric. So the joys of this is it keeps it lightweight, but also it means that you get a longer lifespan than you would with your average of a branded tent. Other thing as well is 4,000mm height to the head, so it's very, very waterproof. Fiberglass poles, so it obviously helps to keep it fairly structural strong, but also it's colour coordinated. There's little tabs here located, and the back one is the only one that's different in terms of length. And the joys of fiberglass, obviously, it's a bit lighter weight and they're very inexpensive to replace as well if need be. Obviously, what you see is you've got beautiful crystal clear windows throughout the whole tent, to give you really good sort of clarity and great visibility on the campsite. But as we go through in a second, there's privacy curtains on the inside as well, just really so you can again hide your stuff, and again when it's night time you're not waking up at the crack of dawn sort of thing. Low level ventilation throughout a tent is really important. So below sort of most windows there's a really nice vent located here and can be propped open via these little tabs, and that's really going to help sort of fight condensation. That's the real sort of bugbear at the current moment. It's actually what we call a free zone tent. So you've got a sleeping area at the back, a main living area, and then a canopy area at the front. The joys of the canopy area is that you've got the front door, which actually becomes part of it, and you can actually sort of roll it to the side if you wish. So you've got a little door like that. So again, with the door itself, you can have it sort of fully open, and it's got toggle points to kind of keep the door at bay, or alternatively, have it half open, so you can roll that back, toggle it, and then obviously you've got a bit of storage area right at the front there, as you can see. You've got fluorescent guy ropes on sort of all the main side points, but more importantly, really strong webbing straps at the front and the back. And what that's going to help to do is keep the roof attachment really nice and taut, and give you that extra layer of strength. And that's not something you really see too often on kind of fiberglass pole tents, and that's why probably the Madison really is a bit different. It's one we're going to have up on display at our indoor showroom. So you can always come in, double check the size of it and see if it's going to be something a bit bigger. I think value for money wise, it's quite good. We are doing, I would say, an unbelievable offer on a tent called the Charcut, which is actually around about, about less money, but it's a much bigger tent, steel poled. So it might be worth certainly have a look at that video as well. We do pitching videos for everything, including the Madison. I think this one took me and my colleague best part of, I think it's about 10-11 minutes to put up. Two people knowing exactly what they're doing. Admittedly, the first time you do that, it's never the case. So you can probably double or treble that the first time you do it, but you can get it down to a fine art like we just did. So check out that video. But like I said, the joys of this actually is it's quite small and compact, and we'll certainly see that as we head on inside. So let's have a look at what the Madison's got to offer. So now we're in the Madison, you can kind of get a bit more of a grasp for certain layout, and more importantly, probably the size you've got inside of here. And the first thing we'll probably talk our way through is sort of the front towards the back. So the canopy area is actually a good sort of size. And like I said, the joys of the Madison is essentially it's meant to be a 6-berth. It's probably more of a comfy 4 or 5, just to give you that extra bit of space. But if you want to use this function, this sort of area here, like we have rolled back the door all the way and have it like an open canopy, then you can happily put sort of like a cooking unit, or sort of like tables and chairs in here, and you've still got shelter away from the front. I mean, alternatively, a lot of people probably use this as a kind of wet dry area. So that's personally probably how I would see using it really. You have got windows in the front, but there are no curtains, just so be aware, just so it allows plenty of light in. But you still, like I say, still at low level ventilation as well, which is a big thing. As we move into the main area, you've got obviously like a slight D door, which means there's a little lip in, which is good because it means you get a really thorough fly mesh attachment. So the joys is you can get a good circulation without the bugs and critters coming in. And even when it starts to rain, you can still leave them in place and not have to worry about any rain coming in because that front sort of built on canopy as such. And there's obviously a door. But like I said, mesh is a really key feature throughout the whole tent. Like I said, not only below the windows in the front door, but also in the front windows between the main living area and the canopy area. The joys of this is yet again just to kind of increase ventilation and really help sort of fight condensation as such. The main living area is actually not a bad space. I think certainly for 6 people it would probably be a bit crowded. But certainly if you're looking sort of 5 or 4, table and chairs in here still gives you ample amount of room. Like I say, this is more for someone who wants a sort of smaller pack size rather than something that's bigger, like the Arava or the Chalkut. Beautiful big PVC windows like we talked on the outside, so you've got 2 on there, 1 on that side, a side entry door as well positioned here. There is no mesh on that point there, so the mesh door is only on the front. Main reason is because there's no, if it starts raining, you can't really use that door because the water's just going to come in and drip in. So that, when it rains, that door needs to be completely shut, you see. You've also got hanger points of lanterns, quite a few actually located in the main living area. So on every single corner point, and even in the awning canopy area, there's one located there as well. So you've got multiple opportunities there. But there's also, you've got little Velcro tabs on the back section here. So you can put a little cable, your mains cable, down to a little cable entry point just down the side by the bedroom, down here. You've only, I believe, got one on the side and then one on the front as well, which is just down here as well. Moving on into kind of the bedroom area. Now, it's the thing about the Madison, it's not as generous per person in the sleeping area. So you might struggle a little bit getting a double air bed in every section. So realistically, I say this is more like, like a 4 or 5 berth. It's all about sort of hitting a price point and making it obviously, trying to hit it, make it really good money for money. So you've got toggle dividers between the 2 sections. So again, you can have it split up into essentially a 2, 2 and a 2. Alternatively, have them all out and have it as one big open area. So you've got quite versatile. Or if you want to split it directly down the middle, you can actually move this toggle divider, have it directly down here, and it becomes a 3 and a 3. Well, like I said, ideally, if it's probably 4 people going away, you've got each then got a sort of a decent amount of room for a double air bed. In the bedroom compartment, you have got little storage pockets located down the bottom to give yourself sort of ability to just put keys and that sort of thing, declutter the main space of the tent. Curtains on this model are also yet again toggle up curtains. So you've got curtains where you see a window on the main living area, so here's points here, and also the mesh. There is a curtain which can actually just sort of untoggle and then sort of bring it down like that, you see. And again, your little toggle retainers as well, so when you don't want to use them, you can quite happily just do a little bit of a rust job. On the side windows, there are toggle points halfway up, so you can kind of get a little bit of half coverage without having to worry about, allowing light in, but also having a bit of privacy as well. But generally, I think the Madison, for a tent footprint carpet, is quite a good price. It's really easy to put up, which is a great thing. I think the pack size is really good as well. Admittedly, probably there are some slightly better things on market for the price points. So, for example, I know it's been very closely compared to the Camper Texel, which I think, yet again, is a really nice model. Probably a little bit better in size, but then it's a little bit more money. And the Chalkut, which I've mentioned, the Royal Chalkut, I think is a scorching buy, really. Footprint carpet for a steel pole tent, bigger than this with more spec. I think that's a really nice one to look at. But it's a good model for someone who's a bit more on the smaller side. So if space is an issue or the weight's an issue, I think the Madison's a really good model to go for. But yeah, that's kind of our Atwell's video review on the Vango Madison 600XL. Just a little side note as well, there's also an inflatable version of this called the Azure, which is really nice, and check out that video and all the pitching packing videos we do on these products. But let us know what you think of the tent. Comment in below or subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest sort of advice on camping.